Welcome guys, I'm really glad to see all of you on our crypto channel, and today we have a meeting with a representative of TG DAO team. It's Slavik Fokin. Hi Slavik, how are you today?
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, I'm pretty excited today because like today's TG DAO has our own IDO. Yeah, so we've been prepared for this moment for quite a while, and now it's happening. So yeah, there are a lot of emotions.
Yeah, that's great. We will try to upload our video before your IDO today to probably to attract more participants and etc. So today I offer you to discuss all of your project, all of your ecosystem, and discuss some main features and etc. So Dmitry, you're welcome. You can start. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, let's talk. So Slavik, you created a DAO and the Launchpad in the first place to interact with your audience, with investors, projects. So tell us what is the key features of the TG DAO ecosystem and the vision behind the team.
Yeah, sure. So the official name of our project is Dao 3.0 Launchpad. Yeah, so it's pretty long name, but at the same time it's self-explanatory. Yeah, because it has a lot of components, and these components they explain our concept just with their names. So we have this part of a launchpad. So this is probably our core theme, because we will launch blockchain startups. This is something that was not in the blockchain space maybe 4 years ago, but these days there are a lot of different launchpads, maybe over 200 launchpads on the market, and the competition is quite significant. Yeah, but at the same time we understand that our launchpad will be different, and one of the main points of differences is that we will be governed as a DAO, as a decentralized autonomous organization. So this is also something that is in our DNA. And if we look at the news, we can notice that DAO concept, it's gaining more and more traction. Yeah, because more and more companies, they transition from being centralized companies to being decentralized autonomous organizations. And we believe that this is a very, very powerful concept, because when you give the power to make decisions to your community, they really love it. Yeah, and they feel this co-ownership of the project, and as a result everyone benefits from it. And also we have this part which is 3.0. Yeah, probably all of you when we think about these numbers, first of all, we think about Web 3.0. Yeah, this is also something everyone is talking about right now. But here, it does not mean that we specialize only on Web 3.0 projects. I mean that we don't have some focus. For example, some launchpad, they specialize on gamify projects or DeFi or Web 3.0. So we can work with any blockchain startups, but this is, for us, it's rather the process of evolution. Yeah, so we want to do the evolution of fundraising and from launching of blockchain startups, and we believe that we can do a new generation of launchpads, so we can be an example of something that will be followed by other projects that will be launched on the market, and this is why we have this component in our name as well.
So if I'm not mistaken, you have an IDO today, and as I understand, you have chosen several launchpads at once for your launch. Tell us how you approached this issue. What was the key to choose some certain launchpad, and how you interact with them? Could you comment it on?
Yeah, sure. As a DAO, as a decentralized autonomous organization, first of all, we focus on our community. Yeah, and our main users of the Launchpad, they're investors, who will invest in the projects that will be launched on our platform. But at the same time, we think that we are not only interested in building the community of investors. We also want to build the community of organizations of our partners, and to build the whole ecosystem around us. And for this reason, we decided to partner with a lot of other launchpads on the market. So we don't think that they are our competitors, but we treat them as our partners because we believe that this collaboration, it can bring mutual benefits to all of us. And we talked, I would say, maybe to 25 different launchpads, because we like initially we wanted to do a very like massive launch on many platforms. But the thing is that our allocation for the public sale, it's rather small. I mean, it's only $300,000. Like it's not a big allocation. And like we realized that it's not possible to engage like too many launchpads. Yeah, so we had to pick only 5 of them. And all of them, like they wanted more allocation because like now they have only 60,000 on average. While like I believe that every launchpad, usually they want at least 100K to fundraise on their platform. Yeah, so we had to make it lower, but at the same time, we have 5 different platforms. And we have even more partners who do not launch us, but we're still going to work with them together. Yeah, so this is also our vision to build this ecosystem of partner projects that will work with us in the future.
So do you have any tier structure for your launchpads, or you have something different?
Well, that's a good question because actually we don't have tiers. We don't have it, and the reason is that I believe that the tier system, it's not perfect because first of all, it highlights and gives preferences to those who have like a lot of money from the start. Yeah, so if you have a lot of money just to buy the high tier, you will have all those benefits that it can give to you. Yeah, but I mean that if you're just not a crypto whale, but just a regular person, and you still are interested in the investments, yeah, but you don't have a lot of opportunities compared to others. And we wanted to change that. And for this reason, we introduced a system which is called TG Score, but in simple words, it can be called a reputation system. So basically, every participant on our platform, they have their reputation number. And this reputation depends on multiple factors. So one of them is, of course, it's the amount of tokens they hold. Yeah, because it's essential because like tokens, it's like the core part of every blockchain project. Yeah, it's like a part of the business model. So we still want every participant to have our tokens. But at the same time, the tokens, they define maybe 50% of the whole formula. And another 50%, they rather represent the value which community member brings to other community. So it can be represented in different forms. For example, we will track how many other investors, how many referrals they bring to our launchpad, how many startups they recommend for applying to our launchpad, and if the startup is launched eventually, then the reputation of this participant, it has a very, very significant rise. Then we are going to track the history of investments of each participant to select those of them who can be called like a professional portfolio manager. So actually they become a kind of reference for all other investors, so they can follow them and just try to do the same to be successful in their investments. Also, we have this component which is related to the DAO. So our participants will be able to put proposals and other participants will vote for those proposals. So those of them who are supported by the community, it also means that their reputation goes up. So we have a lot of factors, but the main idea is that even if you don't have a lot of money to start with, you can still have a very good reputation. And as a result, you will have significant allocations for investments on our launchpad.
Yeah, looks like a real DAO implementation in real life, you know. So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask a couple words about your partners, bakers. How do you maintain some contacts with them? Who could you single out among all of your bakers and investors? Who is the best one?
Well, That's a very good question, because actually, you know, like one of the criteria when a startup is applied to be launched on the Launchpad, like one of the criteria is their bakers and partners. So this is a very important factor. But at the same time, you know, here I don't want to name any of them, because I mean, I don't want to highlight any of them because it means that I just won't name all the rest. Yeah, and this is not what we want, because like as I said, like we focus on all the community. We don't want anyone just to be distinguished. But what I can say, our strategy here, like it was pretty interesting because it's different from most other blockchain projects. I mean that when blockchain projects, they do the fundraising, first of all, they are interested in getting like VCs on board. Yeah, but with our focus on the community, we made it a little bit different. So we did not try to onboard a lot of VCs, but rather we initially went to community pools, because in this case, we don't just get their money, their funding and their networking, which is also present there, but rather we are interested in their communities. So community VCs, they have a lot of like small investors who can like invest like not very big amounts of money, but there are a lot of them. Yeah, and as a result, we don't just get only money, but we get our first users. And now when we closed our private rounds, we realized that actually this strategy was pretty successful, because currently we have more than 1,500 token holders, even before we had their IDO. Yeah, so basically they will, like their checks are not very big. Yeah, I mean that, as I said, we won't have crypto whales who will have like large amounts of tokens, but we have a lot of small retail investors. And when our Launchpad is launched on the market, they will be the first to invest there. So basically, we already have our user base even without having a launch of our own platform.
Oh, I also heard that if the investor is like selling his initial tokens at the TGE, he is losing his like his weight in the tier the launch.
Yeah, exactly. That's a quite controversial rule which we implemented, and the main idea is that there are two types of investors who can invest in the tokens of a Launchpad. So the first one, like they invest in tokens only. I mean that they're interested in raising the token price. So I mean that they buy it at a low price, and then when it goes up, they just try to dump it, and like they're happy with it. Yeah, but for us, they're not our target audience. I mean that we are focused on those who want to be the investors on our Launchpad and to use our tokens as a part of this reputation formula. Yeah, so for them, it's not important to sell the tokens, but they just want to hold them and to get all the benefits on our Launchpad. And for this reason, we introduced this rule. And actually, we believe that with this rule, like those users who are not our target audience, they will just sell everything right in the beginning. And those who are our loyal supporters, they will stay with us. Yeah, so this is like a way to differentiate our true loyal audience from not our audience. And I don't know, like of course, there's also a financial reasoning behind it, because this way we limit the amount of tokens in the circulation, which is something that I think all projects, they aim to do. Yeah, because the smaller the amount of tokens in the circulation, the easier it is to raise the price, which is good for all of them. Yeah, and we hope that it will work. Of course, we don't know exactly, like I mean, we don't have any numbers. We will see them only after we are launched, and we will see like the behavior of all these users. But we expect that this strategy can be successful.
Yeah, it sounds like a kind of insurance of like a program of loyalty to followers and etc. You know, yeah, that's great. So tell us a couple words about your team. How long have you been in the crypto, even you, and how was your team selected? How can everyone join your team and be a part of TG DAO? ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if we talk about my experience, I'm in crypto since 2017. Oh. So it's like 4 years, more than 4 years. Well, there was a pause. I have to say that when the crypto winter came, like I took, like I switched to working with the conventional startups, but in 2021 I returned to the blockchain space because like it was something amazing what was going on, what started like again, and I just realized that the opportunities which are present here, you can't have them in any other area. Yeah, so I was really happy to come back. But if we talk about the team, here I have to say that TG DAO Launchpad is part of the bigger project which is called TG ecosystem. Yeah, and like the Launchpad, on the one hand, it's kind of standalone project. I mean that we have our own operational team. Now we have 15 people. But at the same time, we also a part of this community of TG ecosystem, and their team is much bigger. Yeah, I mean that probably now there are 45 people who work on different projects. But at the same time, Launchpad is the first project to be launched inside of the ecosystem. Probably what unites all of us is that we have this vision, like this focus on the community, yeah, because the whole TG ecosystem, again, like this is ecosystem which consists of several projects that work together, yeah. So this is also a kind of DAO, and like the community, it really matters to us, yeah. That's why we want to implement it on completely different levels.
Good. Maybe one another question I have about NFTs. Like what I've seen in the Launchpad systems that some of them are implementing NFTs, and it's like kind of access to the tiers. I know you won't have something like that, but still, what do you think about their role in the Launchpad?
Well, I think that the NFTs that like they became like they were pretty successful the previous year. Well, I don't know for now, because I mean that the NFT market now it's stabilized, I think. But at the same time, as a concept, it's really great. And I think that now the most common approach, most common usage of NFTs, it will be in the gaming space. Yeah, because like the previous year, maybe it was more about art and collectibles, but in the long-term perspective, NFTs, they're very good utility function in games. And on the one hand, we do not specialize in the gaming industry only, in gamified projects. I mean, we can work with any projects. So for this reason, I don't know whether NFTs, they're very close to our features and our focus. But on the other hand, we also try to use them because I think that people just love NFTs. And for this reason, right now, we just doing, it's more like a marketing campaign. So we took tokens of our partners and our tokens, and we minted NFTs with all those tokens inside. Oh. Now we will do a drawing with among our participants, among our audience, so they will be able to win those NFTs. And it can be, on the one hand, it can be a cool souvenir, yeah, so you have an NFT. But on another hand, you can unwrap this NFT and get all those tokens. So it will be like a pretty significant financial reward as well. Yeah, so I think that we always try to look around, and if we notice something cool, of course we can use it.
So let me ask you technological or technical questions. As I understand, you are betting on a multi-blockchain in the future, and tell us which blockchains are you considering for your token, and which will your token be launched? Could you tell us?
Well, yeah, that's a very good question. So, first of all, I have to say that we will work on Binance Smart Chain, because I believe that for now, this is kind of standard for most blockchain startups. But on the other hand, like if we look at the historical data on the popularity of different blockchains. Like first it was Bitcoin, then it was Ethereum with its smart contracts, and they became the leader. But at some point when the Ethereum price, it just went just to some level, it like the commissions, the fees that you pay for transactions, they became so silly, and Ethereum, it wasn't able to do anything with it. So the BSC became a new leader. But at the same time, like this year, Ethereum, we expect that Ethereum will introduce its proof of stake concept, and maybe its fees will be much lower after that. On the other hand, there are a lot of smaller blockchains, which we can see they have a very, very significant rise. For example, Solana or Phantom or Tezos. I mean that they start from scratch, they start from zero, but very quickly they can they can become one of top 10 chains. And this is very interesting to look at them. And I think that our strategy will be to focus on smaller blockchains, which have a very loyal community, but their ecosystem is not really good developed right now. And if we start supporting them, we become a part of this ecosystem, and we help launch projects on these smaller blockchains. So actually we can bring a really good value to the whole ecosystem. So our efforts will help the whole ecosystem to grow. And as a result, I believe that our business can grow as well. So this is our strategy. So we start with Binance, but then we will add support for other smaller blockchains as well.
The strategy to widen your audience and etc. That's good. Dmitry, would you like something to add?
I think it's a clever move that can benefit both sides. Well, I also think that DAO we are on the earlier stage of the DAO, and it will grow even more in the future, and we will see how it will prosper. So
But may I ask you probably strange questions? If we speak about fundraising in common, could you support a non-blockchain project in the future? What do you think about it? Because modern trend is to create only blockchain projects, but there are a huge sphere of human being that don't connect it with the blockchain at all. What do you think about it?
That's a very good question, because actually this is a part of our roadmap, and this is something that I think no other launchpad is doing right now. So the thing is that the blockchain market, the blockchain space, of course, it's growing every year, but still it cannot compete with non-blockchain space, because there are a lot of companies it's a trillion market, it's trillion billion market of non-blockchain space, and a lot of people, they want to invest into those companies, but they have no access to those investments because of their geographical limitations or legal limitations. And we believe that it's possible to work with these conventional non-blockchain companies and to tokenize them. And if we tokenize them, we will be able to sell their tokens on blockchain and make them accessible to people all over the world. So we are actively working on this right now, and this is a part of our roadmap. But the biggest complication here is that this concept requires a legal structure. So it's not about technology, but it's more about working with lawyers who will make it possible from the legal point of view. And this is what we are doing right now. And I believe that we will start with tokenizing companies in some jurisdictions, but then we will expand this ability to work with companies all over the world. And I think that we will be able to introduce the first non-blockchain startup on our Launchpad in a couple of months. So for me, it's pretty interesting, because it will be a true innovation for the whole market. Because right now, no other Launchpad is doing this, and it will be really interesting to be the first and to understand how, for example, one of the questions is how the crypto audience they will just whether they will like those non-blockchain companies or not. Because actually, if we talk about crypto investors, usually they expect high returns. Yeah, if we talk about conventional companies, of course, the returns, the profit, it won't be that big, but at the same time, it will be more stable. Yeah, so this relationship between risk and the reward, so the risk is smaller and the reward is smaller. So on the one hand, it's a little bit different audience. Those who don't want to take significant risks, they want just to have some guaranteed profits, right? Yeah. And maybe we will introduce this concept to the market, and a part of the blockchain community will support it, because like not everyone wants to be a part of the roller coaster when you have like very, very significant risks and you can lose everything. So yeah, we will see.
Wow, that's great. It's a kind of bridge technology between traditional fund market and the crypto market. Yeah, it looks really, I don't know, attractive, you know. Probably, will this tokenization looks like some kind of ETF implementations, or will it be looks like a ETF, or you will just take some, I don't know, service or product of traditional company, tokenize their service and sell it during the IDO and etc. Something like that, or yeah?
Well, it can happen in different forms, and I would say that probably it depends on each particular company and its product. Yeah, because like one of the ways to do it is to tokenize just the equity of the company. So we just create tokens, which are basically like digital shares of the company. Yeah, but in this case, on the one hand, again, it becomes a kind of security token. And when I talk to lawyers, they always tell me, like, don't call it security token, because in this case, like, everyone will be like, there will be a lot of restrictions, and like, just try not to create a security token, just try to find some other way. So when we talk to these companies, because we already started searching for those who will be able to issue their tokens, so we try to find something in their business model that can be represented as a token. Yeah, and this will be a utility token, which is related somehow to the product, but at the same time, so like, it's not easy to say, like, I mean, there's no general solution that will be available for all of them. So I mean that for each company we have to think and to find this solution.
Slavik, thank you very much for joining us today. It really place for me to talk to you, and I wish your project successful growth, you know, the realization of your plans in the near future, and the opportunity to create a truly living DAO ecosystem, because as I think this year will be really the DAO year, and you know, so the DAO project will grow rapidly and more rapidly, you know. So thank you very much for joining us, and it was a really great podcast, I suppose.
Yes, thank you. I also have to thank you. And, you know, I believe that you can also become a part of our community, because I mean that maybe you can even not interested in the investments on the Launchpad, but you can be just a part of this DAO structure. Yeah, and you can take a really significant part in this voting, because you also understand the market. So you can be someone who will be heard and followed by other community members. So it will be a pleasure for us if you join us.
Thank you very much, guys. Subscribe our crypto channel, join our Telegram group, join TG DAO Telegram group also, and participate in upcoming IDO that will happen today, and we will try to upload our video today and attract as more users as we can. So thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
See you.